What's going on, everyone? So today we're going to be talking about what you should not do inside of Brazil, and this is really for gringos and for foreigners, but I want the Brazilians to comment, if you think what I'm saying is correct or if you just think there should be differences here. So let me know if these are correct things to not do in Brazil. For all the Brazilians, shout out to you all here. Shout out to all the Brazilians out there. I absolutely love Brazil. And when you love a person, place, or thing, you must conform to the culture. So I've been conforming to the culture here in Brazil. I actually brought these shades out here in Brazil because I seen people wearing these style shades and they sell them here. So I was like, I'm going to go buy these shades. But anyways, we're going to talk about this. There's a lot of things that people should know about Brazil. And actually, a fun fact, Brazil, and this is actually what a subscriber told me. A subscriber that's Brazilian said Brazil used to be called the Republic of the United States of Brazil. That was the first official name. And I looked it up and it's actually true. So that's actually pretty cool to know. And also, yeah, that's just pretty cool to know. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and go to Vila Madalena today. Here is the views right now. It's kind of getting late. It's like 5 p.m. I know I always go out late, but I need to stop editing my videos early in the morning. And I need to start editing them pretty much. I need to stop editing them early in the morning, and I need to go out early in the morning instead. But yeah, that's what I need to do. But anyways, enough about me. Like I said, we're going to be talking about the do's and don'ts in Brazil. So definitely stay tuned, and I'll see you all in Vila Madalena. Alright, gringos, listen up. So, yes, I know I'm also a gringo. But anyways, let's talk about some of the things that you should definitely not do here inside of Brazil, because there's a lot that I didn't know first, before coming here. But first, let me talk about how much I like Vila Madalena. So much construction, so many new buildings. It's crazy. Like, they're building a lot of new buildings and structures over here. It's really nice. But anyways, let's talk about some things that you don't want to do when you're coming to Brazil. So one of the first things and most important things is you don't want to disrespect the culture at all. And let me tell you something, like it's really big here with pride. A lot of Brazilians, they have a lot of pride inside of Brazil. So it's really different than a lot of places that you go in the world. And kind of similar to the United States, kind of similar to America, because Americans are also very prideful. But the only difference is Americans are ignorant, where ignorant to other cultures. And I'm a villain of this as well. Sometimes I could be ignorant. That's kind of why I'm making this video, because there's a lot of things I didn't know before I came out here. But the only difference is, Brazilians, if they go to your country, they're going to try to learn your language. They don't go to America trying to speak English. They don't go to America trying to speak Portuguese. They go there learning the local language. And I've been learning a lot of Portuguese here. Entendi muito pouco, but still aprender. I'm still learning, but I'm learning a lot more than what I did before. So I can understand people if they can speak slowly to me, and they have to understand when I speak with a weird accent and a weird flow, because I'm not from here. But anyways, like I was saying, very prideful over here. Gotta check my my Google over here. But yeah, very prideful people over here inside of Brazil. So you don't want to disrespect the culture at all. You don't want to disrespect the people, not even one person. You disrespect one Brazilian, you disrespect them all. So one thing you have to know is you have to respect the culture. Very nice area here. But yeah, you have to respect the culture 100%. That's all the way from the food to the people to the government. You don't want to talk politics here, and that's another don't that you don't want to do. But I really like the art and stuff here on Vila Madalena. It's a really big art district. I don't know why I was going down the ledges when there's stairs. See, another thing is American ignorance, right? There is stairs and I'm jumping down ledges. Anyways, like I was saying, do not talk politics whatsoever here. Like, one thing, like, Brazilians, they're really, you know, like I was saying, prideful, and everyone comes together. But there is a lot of political turmoil right now going on inside of Brazil. So you don't want to talk politics. One thing I seen brought all Brazilians together before this political mess was the World Cup. And even though we lost the World Cup and didn't make it to the finals, we won a lot of games leading up to the finals. And people, they were still prideful in all those wins. Someone just let me cross the street. Anyways, like I was saying, people really prideful over here. You never want to disrespect anyone here inside of Brazil. You never want to do that. So yeah, never do any kind of disrespecting. Lots of nice art here inside of Vila Madalena. And you know, recently there was a YouTuber who disrespected some people inside of Brazil. Oi, tudo bem? There was, and also another good thing, you know, is people are very friendly, so you can actually, you know, you can just speak to people openly. But like I was saying, don't disrespect people or anyone or anything here. A YouTuber actually disrespected some people here and is now catching a lot of turmoil inside of the media. So you don't want to place any type of negative connotations onto anyone out here. It's definitely not good to do anywhere you're at, and especially here inside of Brazil, because people will band together to get you banned, to like make sure you never come back, or just to make sure like you understand that they're how they feel about things. So very, very strong feeling people here. Love the art and culture over here inside of Vila Madalena. So it's also good for you to display the good parts of Brazil. You know, there's a lot of negative things inside of the media about Brazil in general, but when you come over here, it's actually a very peaceful place with very nice people, very good people. So a lot of the negative stuff that the media promotes, they promote that type of stuff for money, and like they're getting paid just from the views, advertisements, and all that other stuff. So a lot of people will promote negativity because that's what gets the most views. Negativity always sells the most. You know, you see a positive video, not many views. See a negative video, a lot of views. And you can even look at my channel, because I post a lot of positive content about Brazil, and you can see, you know, the videos will get, you know, small amounts of views, but then you'll see someone making a video going into the favelas and people having guns all over the place, and then you'll see them at 1 million views because they showed, you know, that part. So that's why when I went over there to Período, I went and showed the ONGs, the G10 favelas and all that other good stuff, because, you know, I want to show the positive side of things. But yeah, like I was saying, don't come over here with the ignorant mindset of a lot of people and display the negatives, because that will definitely get you ostracized, and you don't want that. You do not want to be on the bad side of Brazilians, because they will be relentless in making sure you never come back here. But yeah, anyways, one of the main things is just respect the culture and learn the culture. Another thing that you don't want to do, you don't want to come here and understand zero Portuguese, because when you do that, that's also seen as ignorant. Like, you don't go to, like, whenever anyone goes to the United States, like, we expect them to speak English, and like you almost get mad at some people when they come up to you talking a different language, because you're like, you're in our country, you know. And that's the same thing when you're here. So when I came here a lot, I used to say like, você fala inglês, but then I started to see it's kind of disrespectful to not even try to learn. So instead, I start with the basics, and then I let the conversation flow like that. And then some words I might say in English, but then they'll correct me and let me know how to say it inside of Portuguese. So that's another thing. Another don't is don't go around flashing cameras in people's face. If you notice a lot, whenever I go in public buildings, if people are like in front of me, I'll put the camera down. When I start talking to people, I'll put the camera down. I'll ask them off the camera if they want to be on it or not, and if not, then I won't film them. And it's okay, you know, like right now you can see people walking by, but it's because I'm outside, so it's okay to film in a public place, like being outside or at a park. But let's say maybe like you're at like a restaurant, like you don't want to just film people eating. You don't want to walk around, put it in their face, start asking them questions, because, you know, there's a lot of people that do stuff like that, and you can see Brazilian people, they don't like that much. There's actually laws in Brazil that protects people from being filmed if they don't want to be filmed. So you have to also be cognizant of the laws. So you have to follow every single rules here. So definitely learn the laws of the lands, learn the laws of Brazil before you come here. You do not want to not know any type of laws whatsoever. Like right now, I'm just kind of walking in Villa Madalena. So if you're wondering where I'm going, I don't really know yet. I kind of have a few ideas of restaurants I want to go to. But yeah, you know, that kind of leads me to the next conversation, because the next thing, like let's say you meet a Brazilian friend or something, and you haven't ate for the day, but you have, let's just say you have like a schedule for your eating, or you only eat certain types of foods. You still don't want to turn down their food, even if you don't necessarily want to eat it. But one thing I will say, the food here is delicious, so I don't know why you would turn it down. But you know me, I only eat once per day. I only like to eat once a day. But if I go to a Brazilian friend's house, because I do have a lot of Brazilian friends out here now, I've met a lot of people. The people out here are really friendly. But if I do go over to one of their house, I'm not gonna deny the food, even though I only eat once a day. I'll go ahead and I'll try their culture, because Brazilians, they like to eat. Let's be honest, Brazilians like to eat, and it's almost disrespectful for you to turn down their food, especially if they made food for you and you come over, like they're trying to surprise you. You didn't know they made food, and you go there and then you're like, oh no, I don't want any. Like, yeah, you don't ever want to turn down a Brazilian's cooking, like especially if it's a homemade meal. That's disrespectful. That's disrespectful across all of Latin America, not just Brazil. But yeah, still walking here in Villa Madalena. A lot of nice art out here, and it's a really nice area, a really peaceful area. But there's a few other things I wanted to actually mention as well, because you know, more so about, you know, what's going on in the media with the politics. Like, don't pick sides on the politics if you're not from here. Don't even speak on it if you're not from here. If someone asks you who you voting for or who did you vote for, just say I'm not for anyone. I don't know anything about the culture, or I don't know anything about the presidents. I would say that. But yeah, that's pretty much all. But there's a lot of other things that you don't want to do. So for all the Brazilians inside the comment section, let me know in the comments, what should foreigners do and what should they not do here? Like, what should people not do when they come to Brazil? Because I know there's a lot that I probably forgot, and if I said something that's wrong, like that y'all don't really care about, then definitely mention that in the comments too. Shout out to all the Brazilians. So many hills here inside of Brazil, so I'm like struggling to walk up it right now. But yeah, there's a lot of things that you definitely want to understand before coming here. But yeah, stay tuned. I'm gonna keep walking over here to this place.
Have the muscles on the track.
Okay, so another thing you don't want to do out here in Brazil, you really do not want to waste food. Like, it doesn't matter if you're at someone's house or if you paid for the food and you're eating at a restaurant, you don't want to waste food. It's looked at as ungrateful, disrespectful, and all that. So that's definitely something you don't want to do. So only eat what you're only order what you're prepared to eat, because it's disrespectful to like not eat all the food, and it's ungrateful. So definitely don't do that. Another thing, don't just go places with just because you look at Google Maps, right? And a fellow Brazilian told me this. Don't just go and look at Google Maps and be like, all right, I'm gonna go to this place. Like, do your research on the place, ask Brazilians about the place, ask if it's safe or not, and just don't go off of Google Maps. Because here I am, I'm looking for mountains right inside of Rio. So then the Google Maps points me to Rocinha. And if you don't know, I think it's called Rocinha. It's inside Rio de Janeiro. If you don't know, that's like a big favela over there. So when you go and you use Google Maps, they might bring you to places that aren't particularly safe for people to go, especially walking around with cameras. So you always want to ask the local Brazilians where to go. And whenever you're inside certain types of places, you also want to ask for permission to film. So this is especially true for favelas. You always want to ask for permission before you go around there and start filming, because if you do not, then that's going to end very badly for you. So you always want to ask for permission there. But yeah, there's a lot of other things I want to mention just out here in Vila Madalena. But yeah, there's a lot of other things I want to mention as well, because there's just so much, and I know I can't put it all in one video. So if all the Brazilians can help out and put some tips and tricks in the comments and things to do and things to not do while out here, that would be greatly appreciated and very helpful. So there's a few other things I want to mention. I'm trying to remember, but I'm also trying to cross the street without getting hit. But yeah, anyways, like I was saying, like with the Google Maps, there's also another incident here that happened in Sao Paulo. I was looking for I was going through the Bom Retiro neighborhood, and going through Bom Retiro, there's an area that you got to cross going from República to Bom Retiro inside of Luz, or Luz, whatever you want to call it. But this particular place is called Crackland, or Cracklandia, and all the Brazilians know it because they're the ones who gave me this tip. They're like, look, don't just go around following Google and going wherever Google tells you. Like, you gotta look up places online, gotta do your research, and you gotta just make sure that you know exactly where you're going. Because for all the people that don't know, there, Cracklandia is a place where literally hundreds on top of hundreds, maybe even thousands of homeless people and, you know, drug addicts just go, you know, and stand in the street and stand on the sidewalk. You can't even drive through that area because there's so many of them. It's impossible to literally drive through the area. So a lot of people are like, don't go over there and don't film over there either, because if they see the camera, all it takes is for one of them to yell camera, or he's got a camera, for all of them to run over to you and jump you and steal your stuff, beat you up, and maybe even delete you, if you know what I'm saying. So you don't want to just go following around Google. Make sure your Google's updated. Just make sure you know exactly where you're going. And then another, don't assume every Brazilian is the same across all states, because something that the Brazilians say is that every state has different types of people inside of Brazil, and it's the same inside of the United States. Every single state is different. But like I was saying, like inside of the United States, this is a really cool condo building. They got a security guard. I know it's sophisticated, really sophisticated condo building, really nice. But yeah, like I was saying before I got distracted by the nice condo, like what was I saying again? It was just a nice condo, so I got distracted. But yeah, like I was saying, like every single person inside of Brazil is different. Every state is different. So inside of Sao Paulo, they call them paulistanas, I think, or paulistanos. And inside Rio, I forgot what they call the Rio people, but all of them are different. The Bahias are Bahian. We'll call them Bahians. I had to run across the street there. But yeah, everybody's different, so don't assume that every single state is the same as the other state, because they're all different. Like inside of the United States, in the South you got country people, in the West you got hipsters, in the North you got, or I mean the Northeast, like New York, you got absolutely cold people, you know. But it's really different everywhere you go, so that's definitely something that you want to remember. So definitely keep that in mind. But yeah, I could go on and on and on with things that you should not do. And I guess another thing, you know, like what I'm doing now, don't just walk around, you know, with a camera and talk in English or something like that, because it could be dangerous wherever you are. But all in all, it's not like people say it is out here. It's not like the media says. The media tries to paint Brazil as this terrible place, but if you look at the news for the United States, like you're gonna see crazy stuff. Like just the other day, not the other day, but I think it was more so like last week, inside the United States, you had like a 6-year-old walk into his school and then shoot his school teacher. Like, you got crazy stuff like that going on inside of America. So people can't just talk about Brazil saying like Brazil is just, you know, overly dangerous place. Like at night in certain areas it can definitely be dangerous, but something you don't want to do is like paint the whole place as like a villainous place. Oi, tudo bem? I'm inside of a really nice neighborhood right now. I'm seeing really nice houses, and yeah, everything's really nice over here. I was just standing out like a sore thumb, so when people see me they start smiling and laughing because they see I'm walking around talking to a camera speaking English. So really funny. But yeah, definitely learn you some Portuguese. Definitely learn some Portuguese, because you could be in a situation where like people are just talking about you, but they're planning to do something to you and you just don't know what they're saying. Like, yeah, you definitely want to learn the Portuguese. But anyway, stay tuned. I'm gonna try to find a restaurant around here and go eat because I'm starving. And I've been walking around Vila Madalena here for a little while. Good exercise, good therapy for me to talk about some things that I've learned out here, because I've had hardships out here just not knowing the culture. But now that I know like stuff about the culture, I'm like, I'm good now. But oh my, like these are really nice houses in Vila Madalena. I've heard some people say that Vila Madalena is really expensive, and in certain parts it's like really wealthy. So I'm definitely seeing the wealth here. But anyway, stay tuned. I'm gonna go ahead and find a nice restaurant to eat at.
Marcellus on the track.
Okay, so I'm arriving at this park right outside of Vila Madalena. It's called Praca Pôr do Sol. I think this is now like Pinheiros, now that I'm like leaving Vila Madalena. I think we're entering the Pinheiros neighborhood. But anyways, entering the park Praça do Sol. So that's this park up here, but a lot of walking today, a lot of walking. But yeah, stay tuned. Yeah, what did I say about humongous hills? These hills are humongous. Huge hills. But anyways, going up here to see the top of this park, because you can see a lot from the top. So we're gonna go ahead and make our way to the top of the hill. Yeah, I see some people overlooking the city up here. So yeah, let's see what this is looking like. It's actually a really nice view from here. It's just gonna be a lot of walking to get to the top of the park. Okay, so really cool views from the top point of this view, but from this point I'm gonna go to a restaurant. I need some water. It's been like forever since I had a drink of water, so I'm gonna go ahead and get some water, maybe some food somewhere. I'm supposed to be having some lunch and dinner with a fellow Brazilian friend, and yeah, very nice views up here, very nice views. I actually have a question. So the camera that I just now showed them the views of all the buildings and the trees and the mountain and the city from the top of the hill, which one do you like better? Do you like that camera better, or do you like this camera that I'm using now better? Because this is my GoPro, and then the camera I used for the top of the hill was my phone. So which one's better, because I bought the GoPro just because I thought it would be better, but I'm honestly thinking my phone camera is a lot better than this camera. But see, the phone camera, it zooms in, whereas the GoPro does not zoom in. And yeah, so I think the better camera for like distances is always my phone. But would my phone camera be better for close-up shots? I don't know. It's just a weird thing that I was thinking about. But yeah, let me know which one you all like better. Anyways, I'm going back down the hill. I need some water. I'm really thirsty. And yeah, that's what I'm gonna be doing. I was actually on my way walking to McDonald's just so I can get like a drink from there. And maybe some fries just because I like the fries. But just the drink from there. But I decided to come here instead because Google said it had 20,000 reviews and it's like a 5-star view. And I can honestly see why. Definitely amazing. A lot of people were up there with their couples kissing and stuff. So yeah, it's the perfect place for that. But anyways, I'm gonna keep walking. Nice airplane going over us. The Guarulhos airport, probably that's where they're going to. But yeah, I guess I could find out some more things, you know, some more things that you don't want to do out here in Brazil. There's a lot of things that you would not want to do and a lot of things that you would do. Like for instance, like being in an elevator with someone, you know, it's always nice to say like boa tarde if it's like the daytime, and then tudo bem, which is like all is well, or are you good, how are you, pretty much. Or and then, you know, respond estou bem, all that good stuff. But that's just being polite. But yeah, people in Brazil are really polite, so you always want to be polite back. So when you see me walking, when I see people staring at me, I'll just be like, oi, tudo bem, or boa tarde. But yeah, they're always staring at me because I'm always walking around talking English, looking like a gringo. But yeah, so shout out to all the Brazilians in the chat, inside of the comments and all that good stuff. And like I said, if any of you Brazilians want to chime in and let me know things that are either okay or not okay to do in Brazil, definitely let me know, because I take all of your advice. Believe it or not, I go through all the comments and respond to them all, or at least as many as I can. And yeah, you'll see a lot of the places that you all mentioned, I actually go to those, so shout out to you all. I don't think anyone has mentioned this park here, but I went over here anyway. I'm just trying to figure out like which way I should go to like efficiently get down this hill, like which way I should go to like have the least amount of leg work, because I gotta like run down the hill because it's so steep, and if you try to walk, it's just like it's such a pain. So many hills. But yeah, there's like $1 million houses over here, $1 million buildings, and this property is for sale. I wonder how much they're selling it for, but it's just land, it's not an actual house back there. But yeah, these are $1 million properties here. So I really like this area inside of Vila Madalena. I think this is Pinheiros at this point though. The hills, they're getting to me. I guess another thing, if you're going to be like specifically in certain areas in Brazil, like if you're going to be in Sao Paulo, you don't want to wear sandals. I know like the stereotype of being out in Brazil is like Rio de Janeiro, sandals, floral pants, you know, floral swim trunks, and a floral button-up shirt like that. Like no, that's Rio style, you know, that's what you wear to Rio. But like I said, every state here is different, so you don't want to wear that to Sao Paulo. They'll know that you're a foreigner, a gringo. But yeah, you definitely don't want to wear that. And another other thing, I guess don't dress like a tourist, I guess. I mean, that's a good piece of advice. Don't dress like a gringo. And you know, you already know what I'm talking about. The people, the backpackers, they'll be wearing the elephant pants. You know what I'm talking about. Everybody knows those pants. Like everywhere you go, you know exactly who they are if they're wearing those pants. You know, they're a backpacker, they're tourist, they're a gringo. But yeah, I try to blend in. A lot of Brazilians wear Adidas out here, so I have an Adidas shirt, you know, Adidas shoes. So I guess let me know if y'all think that I look like a gringo, or like I look, let me know, do I look like a gringo or do I look like a Brazilian? And yeah, just let me know, because I think I look pretty Brazilian. Like people usually don't know that I'm a gringo until I speak. Like they'll ask me a question, and then I'll be like, no entiendo, no entendi. So they know I say I don't understand. And then they're like, okay, gringo. But I always try to respond inside of Portuguese before I say você fala inglês. But anyways, I'm gonna keep walking here. This is pretty much all the tips I have of what you should and shouldn't do. But yeah, let me know in the comments about any more that you all have. Also, another thing you don't want to do out here in Brazil, Brazilians actually let me know about this one. You don't want to walk around with your phone in your hand at night, like no matter what. You just don't want to do that. Especially don't want to walk around with a camera in your hand at night, and especially not speaking English. But yeah, you don't want to do that at all. Actually, a lot of Brazilians let me know to not do that. So don't do that at all. There's actually a crime that the Brazilians call two guys on a bike, where like two guys pull up on you, one jumps off the back of the bike, they rob you of everything you have, and if you don't give it up, they just shoot you. And that's what Brazilians were warning me about. So I think that's actually one of the more important ones for safety, because you know that could happen to you anywhere, but it's very common here with bikes because a lot of people have motorcycles. So that's definitely something you want to watch out for. And also another thing, people say if you're walking down a hill, then someone might, and if you have your phone in your hand, someone pulls up on the side of you on a bicycle, and then they take your phone and keep going because they're going down a hill, so they have that momentum and velocity picking up speed for them. But if you try to run down a hill, you're probably going to trip and fall. So they say a lot of thieves and thefts go on when people are going down hills and they have their phone out and they're vulnerable, and someone has a bike, because then they're just going to use the velocity of the hill to get away from you faster. So that's another thing for safety. And I guess another point for safety, well, which is an obvious one, don't walk around counting money or something like that. That's pretty obvious that you don't want to do that. But you know, just some stuff that's common sense and some stuff that's more so not common sense, but common sense to Brazilians. Because I didn't look at it as common sense to you know not walk around with my phone out at night. But Brazilians are like, what are you doing? Because my first videos, I would be out at night filming, talking English, out inside República in Sao Paulo, which is a particularly dangerous area to walk around at night doing that. So yeah, that's also something. And another thing that you want to do here in Brazil, you want to go around and ask the Brazilian people about the safety questions. Like, ask the Brazilian people, because inside of República where I'm staying, I found 5 different people. Some of them were foreigners, some of them were Brazilians, but all 5 of them were robbed in the same area where my apartment is, within a week. And they said, you know, some of them had guns, some of them had knives, some of the people that robbed them, and they were pretty much giving me safety tips. So always ask Brazilians about the areas. Ask Brazilians about how safe an area is and if it's a safe area for them to go to, because yeah, the Brazilians know best. So always ask about the areas before you go do stuff. But all in all, like I said, the media tries to paint Brazil as like a very dangerous place. Like, if it's a really dangerous place, you're not going to see a nice Mercedes like that just chilling, right? You're not going to see a S-Class Mercedes brand new just chilling right there. This is the rich neighborhood of Sao Paulo, but still, it's still like not how people are trying to conduct it on the media. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get some food here. You always want to watch your back, you always want to stay safe. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead, even though I said I'm going to go eat with a Brazilian friend, I'm still gonna do the most American thing possible and get like some fries or something. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and get food here. Shout out to you all who watched the video. Stick around to the end. Definitely hit the like button and subscribe, all that good stuff. But I know the video is getting pretty long, so definitely do all that, and I'll be back with another video.